this might sound crazy to some people listening, but you could argue the Mets are being generous with how they're looking at this right now because I haven't ever seen a reported or rumored contract structure from another team. So we're not even sitting here and going, well, he's got a 3 year from another team out there without defer. We don't know any of that. All we
Yeah.
get is the 3 years, 70-ish million from the Mets, where the Mets might be doing that because one, it's Pete Alonso, and there is something to a homegrown talent, and two, because they're comfortable with that situation where teams, Pete's still an external free agent to other teams. External free agents are a higher risk. You haven't had that guy in your building. You don't know what his day to day is like. You don't know how he takes care of himself or how he goes about his business. So the Mets are at a place of comfort on a 3 year deal. It's pretty decent money that we just haven't seen another team be willing to do that yet, Joe. And at some point, whether Pete's getting bad advice or expecting something different, I think there's a little bit of a reality check in order here that's a good deal on the table from the Mets.
And the 70-ish million figure Andy had reported on SNY as well, that's like the present day value. So if this deal got announced, it would be, I don't know what the number is, number something higher, but it would say 3 years, 85 million with deferred money. That takes the present day value down to 68 to 70. So I believe the Mets have been plenty generous in a market that, as you said, Connor, we don't know exists. Like, we've heard the Toronto Blue Jays stuff. We've heard some Los Angeles Angels. I mean, is Pete Alonso really going to take a short-term deal to go play for the Angels? Is that the best course of action as he looks to rebuild his value, which is the whole premise of taking the 3-year deal with opt-outs? Is the idea is I'm going to be really good and opt out, and then I will get that long-term deal that I coveted. So it makes all the sense in the world for these two parties to come together, and it seems like it's just a lot of crazy. It's now getting crazy up and down. At first, it was just like, the Mets are looking at this, or Alonso's looking at this. Now it's just like there's almost fighting words out there from Boris and Cohen, and it's getting pretty heated. But it still feels like this is something that has to come together.